Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm super excited to share with you a summary of the book Just Keep Buying by Nick Maggiulli. Get ready to learn how to make your money work for you and say goodbye to all the bad advice and conflicting information out there. In this video, we'll delve into the context-dependent approach to finance and discover the secrets to saving and building wealth. From the lessons we can learn from an Alaskan fish to why investing in sluggish markets can be a smart move, and how to spend money guilt-free. So, buckle up and get ready to take control of your finances with Nick Maggiulli's proven strategies. Let's get started. Idea number 1. Are you ready to learn the real deal about saving money and building your wealth? I've got the perfect book for you. Today, I'm going to take you on a journey through the pages of Just Keep Buying by Nick Maggiulli. But hold on, this isn't your typical finance book tour. We're not starting off in the financial district, nope. We're heading to the wilds of Alaska to meet some fishy friends. That's right, we're talking about Dolly Varden Char, the savvy survivors of the streams. They've got a secret to share about adapting to their environment, and you won't believe how it applies to your finances. You know the drill. You Google, "How much should I save?" and bam! You're hit with 1,000,001 opinions on the subject. But the thing is, all those answers assume one thing, that everyone's financial situation is the same. And let's be real, life is messy. You may earn more now and less later, or vice versa. Some people live in cities with high living costs, some don't. It's a never-ending list of variables. That's where our fishy friends come in. They remind us to save what we can, when we can. And that's the first rule of saving: save more when you're earning more. It's a simple principle that takes into account the messiness of real life. So come along for the ride, and let's learn how to make money work for us. We'll discover why it's worth investing in sluggish markets, how to spend money without feeling guilty, and so much more. Idea number 2. Saving money can feel like a big, daunting task, but it doesn't have to be. First things first, let's get real about your finances. It's all about the math, baby. Money in minus money out equals your savings. Now, let's start tracking. We know your income is easy to figure out, but what about your expenses? Sure, rent and bills are fixed, but what about your grocery runs and coffee before work? Don't worry, we can simplify it. Just estimate your average spending on each category and voila! You've got a pretty good idea of your outgoings. So, let's say you bring home $4,000 and spend $3,000 on expenses. That leaves you with $1,000 in savings. But is that enough? Well, it depends on your lifestyle and what you want to do with your savings. A general rule of thumb is to have 25 times your annual expenses saved up for retirement, but it all comes down to what you want out of life. And what if it's not enough? Time to grow that income, baby. Don't let financial advice focus on cutting back on quality of life to save more. That's no way to live. Instead, let's focus on making more money. Saving should be a happy, fulfilling journey, not a painful one. Idea number 3. Want to boost your income to new heights? Well, the secret is simple. Just keep on investing. Trust me, trying to save your way to riches just won't cut it. Eventually, you'll run out of things to save on and hit a hard limit. But when it comes to growing your income, the sky's the limit. Now, let me tell you a story about horse racing. There was this guy named Jeff Sater who was always on the hunt for the perfect racehorse. He looked at all sorts of criteria, from pedigree to muscle fiber density, but nothing seemed to matter. That is, until he measured the horse's heart size, more specifically, their left ventricle size. And boom! He finally found a reliable predictor of success on the track. Just like Jeff Sater, sometimes all it takes is one key piece of information to understand a complex system, like the stock market. And what's that one piece of info, you ask? Well, Warren Buffett says it best: the stock market goes up most of the time. That's right. Even with wars, recessions, and flu epidemics, the U.S. stock market still rose 160,000% over the 20th century after adjusting for inflation. So, the moral of the story is, if you want to grow your income, just keep buying stocks. Historically, the line has always trended upwards, so hitch your money to that line and watch your income soar. Of course, it's always wise to spread out your investments, but that's something you can discuss with your financial advisor. The bottom line: invest and watch your income grow. Idea number 4. Have you ever heard that debt is a bad thing? Well, it's not quite that simple. It's like those flowering plants in the desert. There's annuals and perennials, and the annuals have a pretty interesting way of making sure they survive in their harsh environment. Just like those annuals, debt can seem like a confusing and paradoxical thing, especially when it comes to credit cards. Sure, the interest rates can be outrageous, but they can actually be a lifesaver for people with low incomes. It's what economists call the credit card debt puzzle. Think about it. If you have $1,500 in your checking account and $1,000 in credit card debt, it might seem like paying off the debt would be the best move, right? But it's not that simple. Just like our annual plans, if you don't have a lot of money, the future can look pretty scary. If something unexpected comes up, like a car breakdown, you won't have enough cash to fix it. That's where credit cards come in handy. By paying those high interest rates, you're preserving your access to credit for when you really need it. So, it's not a matter of debt being good or bad. It's all about context. The real question is, does debt help you achieve your goals? It's a tool that can be used wisely or abused, just like those annual plants in the desert. Idea number 5. I've got some important news for you. It's time to learn to enjoy spending your money. Let's face it, trying to save every penny can make you feel pretty miserable, right? Well, guess what? You don't have to. According to the American Psychological Association, money is consistently listed as the #1 stressor in people's lives, and a 2018 study found that half of all Americans feel anxious about their savings. It's a vicious cycle of guilt, isn't it? Everywhere you turn, someone's telling you to cut back on spending and save more, but that just leads to more stress and guilt. But here's the thing. Saving is important, but so is quality of life. And the key to balancing both is to focus on purchases that bring you long-term fulfillment. That's where the idea of autonomy, mastery, and purpose comes in. These are the 3 things that bring us fulfillment, according to author Daniel Pink. By applying these concepts to your spending decisions, you can make sure your money is being spent in a way that brings you joy and satisfaction. Take that morning latte, for example. It might seem like a frivolous purchase, but if it helps you perform better at work, then it's actually enhancing your mastery and bringing you long-term fulfillment. The same goes for other purchases that might seem frivolous at first glance. When you take a closer look, they might be contributing to your sense of autonomy or purpose. In the end, money is a tool. It's what allows you to create the life you want to live. And the real challenge is figuring out what that life looks like. What do you care about? What values do you want to promote? Once you have a clear picture of that, spending your money will be both easier and more enjoyable. Summary. Are you tired of the never-ending debate of how much you should be saving, spending, investing, or borrowing? Well, don't worry, because Nick Maggiulli is here to bring some real talk to the table. He believes that there's no one-size-fits-all answer to these questions. It all comes down to context, baby. You gotta ask yourself, how much can you realistically save or invest? Does that debt help you achieve your life goals, or is it just a quick fix in an emergency? Does spending bring joy to your life? It's only by really digging into these questions that you'll be able to come up with a financial plan that works for you and your situation. So, Forget about those idealistic financial plans and embrace the realism. It's all about finding what works best for you in your context. Good luck.